Hey everybody, I'm about ready to cut the polycarbonate sheet that we're going to use to go around the diorama, the Nautilus diorama, so we can pour the epoxy. This will work as a mold for the epoxy. We're going to go around the entire diorama. We'll do the pour in, I think 3 pours. We're using a deep pour epoxy, but I don't want to go more than a couple inches at a time, just to make sure we keep it controlled. You know, epoxy can get away from you a little bit. Now this stuff is about just a skosh under 1/8 of an inch thin. It's flexible, but if you did want to bend this, you wanted to do a circle or an oval, or you wanted to follow the shape of a wavy shape, you can put this on something and heat it, and it'll bend over whatever you have it on. And you can bend it to a point. You go too far, it'll just break, or you'll overheat it and it'll turn black and it'll be a mess. So you got to be careful of how much heat you put on this. But for this one, we're just going to use straight sheets. We're making a rectangle, and it's going to be approximately I think that's 6 inches. Yeah. So it'll be approximately 6 inches high. The epoxy pour probably going to go around 4 inches altogether. So let's get that going, and then we'll be ready for the epoxy. All right, epoxy surround is complete. So we're ready for epoxy pour. I'm just waiting for it to come in the mail. It's gonna be here today. I'm tracking it, tracking it as we speak. So let me turn you around and show this to you. Okay, we get the plexiglass all the way around. We have the submarine sticking out the rear. We're gonna have it sticking out the front of the epoxy. Now we get down here, we'll probably go to about this up to here with the epoxy so you can see how deep it's going to be. Just the front end of the sub will be pulled under the water. Rear end will be sticking out. The front is sticking out, and we have a hole to fill. The epoxy will definitely come pouring out that hole, so we got to fill that with something. I was thinking of maybe some foam clay or maybe some silicone. Um, I might have to test that with some epoxy and see how that works out. But the foam clay will dry somewhat hard, and I don't think it'll interact with the epoxy. But we'll see. One thing you got to make note of when you do this, like, see, I have a line on here, a guideline I used, and I used a Sharpie. Now, you got to make sure that's on the outside, or or you got to take it off completely with a solvent, because that will, along with this line here, it's on the outside, I don't have to worry. But if it's on the inside, that'll get absorbed right into your epoxy, and it'll go deep. It's not like you could just sand it off the surface of the epoxy. It'll go in quite a way. So just keep that in mind whenever you make marks with a pen or a Sharpie. All right. See you when my epoxy gets here.